Alright, so this is the next load of steel I think this is enough to finish off everything I need on the for the slide outs. Material here for window frames and the rest of my slide out seal framework, all that kind of stuff. I tried to think of everything I need. I got all the steel at once, so I think this will finish it. Might be a piece here or there that I forgot or something, but I think and I got a little bit extra for of 1 inch by 2 inch. I got an extra length of 2 by 2 and stuff like that. So the angle here for to do my window frames, that's all here. Anyways, hopefully all the steel to finish the bus off. It's a little over 1,000 pounds of material, so still not too bad. I think by the time I put all this on, if I do, I'll have right in the neighborhood of 2,500 pounds of steel to build everything. And I've taken 7,000 pounds of stuff off of it, taking all the gutting the interior, pulling all the windows out, all that stuff, old air conditioning system, everything's all that stuff adds up to about 7,000 pounds, and I've only added 2,500 into it, so shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so I'm just finishing up this door here. Got these extensions, or whatever you want to call it, around where the seals are going to go. So that's all finished now. So I have sprayed that gravel guard I was talking about, that textured material. Sprayed that on there. Just waiting for it to dry, and then I'll put the seal on. Probably wait till tomorrow. Hang on, I'll show you what it looks like from the inside. Anyways, yeah, gives it a nice textured finish. It's still pretty wet, so it's not all that consistent, but once it dries up, it just has a nice finish. And the other thing that's nice about it is it goes on thick enough that it'll seal up any little gaps and anything if you have anywhere as well. Anyways, continue on. Okay, this door seal is all finished up now. Fitting really nice. This is what I did here to seal up around that latch pin, like I was showing on the last, or one of the other videos. Anyways, I don't much remember which one, but anyways, yeah, and this, I'm thinking this is the finish that I'm going to have on all the steel, before it gets skinned, and so all of this steel down here, when I clean it up, I'll just shoot this rubberized gravel guard on it. It gives it a nice textured finish. Like I said, always stays a little bit soft, and it gives it a nice finish. And it can go directly onto bare steel too, so you don't have to prime under it. One thing to keep in mind if anybody's doing this kind of thing, when you do your last cut, when you put this seal on, you want to kind of try and compress it, like push it up in the opposite direction that you're traveling as you install it. So you want to shrink it as opposed to stretch it as it goes on, if that makes any sense. And then when you get to the end and you measure your cut, leave it about 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, and then when you go put that last little corner in first, leave it off up to about here, put this last little piece in first, and then work it back up here, and that'll there'll be extra material here that you'll have to kind of force into place, but that puts everything under compression, not tension, so otherwise it'll have a tendency to want to shrink over time, and then you end up with a gap down there at the bottom, or it'll, spots like that, or up in the corners there, it'll start to peel away. It won't want to stay put. So as you're installing it, try and compress it as opposed to stretch it, then it'll stay in place. Don't ask me how I know that. All right, so when I'm just getting started on the rear slide here in the bedroom now. Just spent an hour or so on it yesterday afternoon. Getting started, so I'm going to continue with that today. I ran out of cutting wheels, so couldn't go any farther until I went and got some. I got some this morning, and so I'll continue on with that today. Okay, so here's where I got to during the week. Got the outer wall all tacked in place. Just got everything kind of securely tacked. I'm going to put the whole cage together, and then I'll go back and weld it all up afterwards. As before, 1.5 inch spacers all around, and I dropped the slide out down below the bed height here, because I'm going to have end tables on each side, and I wanted them to go right down to the floor as opposed to just being at bed height. So anyways, so that's all in. I'm just going to pull these rails out here, one on each side, and that's same as the front ones. That's going to be my that'll be the slide, the outer part of the slide mechanism. So I'm going to put the wheels up the front like I did on the other side, or on the other two slides, and then that 2x3 tubing here. This is my rails that that will actually slide. So I'm going to do it the same as I did the front ones, except I'm just going to drop the wheel count in half. So rather than having 4 wheels here, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, I'm just going to have 1 on top and 1 on the bottom, and the front of these rails here, I'll just have 1 wheel rather than 2. This one, this slide out isn't as heavy. It'll be supported on the inside and outside, if that makes any sense. The wheels for the, to support the inner part of the cage will ride on here. It's not all suspended like the front ones are. So those the mechanism in here, all those wheels aren't going to take anywhere near as much load. So I just dropped the wheel count in half. I think it'll be fine. And then this rail here, that's what these wheels are going to go onto, and then the mattress, or the bed frame, which I haven't quite figured out totally yet, will go on top of that and be hinged. So I think I'm just going to make a drop-in removable insulated cover over top of the engine. Just have the bed fold up and then lift that cover out of there, as opposed to having it hinged as well. But I haven't totally decided on that yet. I might hinge that one as well. Anyways, we'll figure that out as I go along. This is the design as you go process. So I just kind of I've got a pretty good idea in my head what I'm going to do, but sometimes the details change as I go, and I find a better way. I think about it for a bit and come up with a better way of doing it, or at least what I hope is a better way of doing it anyways, as I go. So anyways, yeah, we'll get started. More to come. Okay, so another little bit of an update here. As I said, only putting 2 wheels in these ones as opposed to 4 like I did on the front slides. There's the one there. The other one is around here somewhere. There it is. Yeah. So anyways, those are ready to go in. Wheels for the inner part of the upper. Anyways, you'll see it later. These are all done and ready to tack in. I just have to square them up. So the wheels are in those underneath the that piece of tubing there. Brain to mouth coordination doesn't seem to be too good today. Anyways, so one wheel in there rather than 2, and I'm just going to square this up, triangulate it and square it up, and then tack it in place. Put those other pieces in here so that the rails are running on it, and then I'll tack the outer wall to it and continue on. So that's it for now. I'll just keep on going. Alright, so I'm working away on the bedroom slide here. I got it to the point where it would slide out last night. Basically the same system as the front two, just one change in it. And I'll go up inside and film that in a second. This pretty hard to tell here right now. Anyways, I'll go up inside here in a minute. Okay, so the same basic system as the other 2 slides, with the addition of these 2 rails here that run on the on this tube here, which supports or will support the inside wall, and so I don't need any swing arms in that like we do on the other one, or the other 2 slides. I made a little bit of a goof here, and I forgot. I'm trying to keep this as low as possible, so my bed is, the bed frame is going to be mounted here, but on top of this. So I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. However, right in here, here's where the seal has to attach. So this can't hang down here, and I forgot about that. So I'm going to have to take these. They're just tacked on here. I'm just cut them off. And I'll just notch this out here, and so the seal can work, and then I'll gusset it here because there's nothing in this area, so that will work for that. And so I'll just continue on. Alright, so my brain fart was bigger than I thought it was. Which isn't too surprising, but anyways, if you'll recognize these, this is all the notching I did for the seal. Got it all done, got it all in there, and then I realized that it still wasn't going to work, because the seal doesn't have to sit in here. it has to slide all the way down as this slides in and out. So having a notch here doesn't really help me at all. And of course I built the whole thing, had it all on there, and then realized that I made a boo-boo. So I guess I'm allowed to do that once in a while. Anyways, that's a bigger brain fart than I thought. So back to the drawing board. Now I also, last weekend was a series of brain farts. These are also too short, but that wasn't that big a deal. I could just extend the ends, but now that I had to redo them, made them the length that they need to be. So this is where the end of the bed will be, come to here. This will slide to this point here when it's yep, to here when the slide out's out. So I was just going to add a piece, from here out on the other ones, but now that I have to so anyways, I had to raise it up same 1.5 inches that everything else is, so it's along the bottom, and the seal will run along this surface here in 28 inches, which is what the slide's going to be, and it'll all be good. And then I have to build the bed frame on top of that, but yeah. Oh, what do they say? 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. Anyways, what happens when you do the whole design as you go kind of deal. But anyways, so I'm just continuing on. Put another wheel in the other side. I got one side done on Sunday. It's now Wednesday night before I get back out here again, so I'll just do the other wheel on there, put the cross bracing in and all that fun stuff, and go from there. So now it's about 10:30 Saturday night. Yesterday was a holiday, so I went down to Portland and picked up my windows. I'll show those in a couple of minutes here, but here's where I'm at with the slide out. I'm just building the inner cage here now. Got my screw up from last weekend all fixed up. That's where the end of the bed will be when the slide out's in, and I'm just in the process of building the inner wall or portion of the slide out here. It all slides in and out. I have it just strapped in here right now so I can keep it exactly where I want it while I get everything all fitted and everything. I'm just tacking everything together, same as I did with the other slides, until I get it all braced up and everything's square and can't move, and then I'll go ahead and weld it out. I'm just in the process of putting the lower cross braces in. Right at the moment I got another one to put right here, one here going across, and one up at the top here, and then the same thing on the other side. And then I'll do all the same, continue that angle there to rivet the skin tube onto the same as I did on the other side. So this angle here I will just project across up into here, and again 2 more as it goes back toward the rear. So I hope to have this pretty much finished up tomorrow, I hope. Yeah, that's about it for that. I'll go and show you the windows I got. So there's the passenger side window. Slides with a screen on it, and that'll go in and replace the factory window that was there on the passenger side. I wanted to have that in installed in there before I go and weld this door up, because you know, just in case the frame tweaks a little bit or something. So I'll install that window and then go ahead and do the weld out on this once I've finished that rear slide out. And I'll show you the other side. And here's the one on the other side, the driver's side one. Went down to Portland to Peninsula Glass. Ordered these about a month ago. And tried to get my parents to pick them up on their way through from Yuma, but they weren't quite ready yet. So Dad and I just made a flying trip down to Portland yesterday, and well, actually we left Thursday night. Got a motel room down there, and then picked them up yesterday morning. So very nice windows. Guys are really good to deal with. I'll get all the rest of the windows eventually that I put up in here from them. They make them to you know, there'll be dual pane reproductions of the MC7 windows. So it'll still look like it's got bus windows, but it's going to be, they'll be nice RV windows. Anyways, yeah, so I'll continue on with it tomorrow.